Where I started as a young boy and having dreams and aspirations of being a footballer. The journey's been amazing.
You're not a big boy.
Nah.
Stand up. You're not taller than me.
Nah.
You beat everyone in the Premier League and heading those balls in the air.
You see that somehow he flies above the rest and he's in the top left-hand corner. He's almost like a kangaroo the way he jumps up and just heads the ball in.
It's Tim Cahill and it's 1-1.
He's a young Australian man who has continually proven people wrong.
I mean, he's a classic Australian, you know. He's not a tall boy, but he wants to prove that that's not a handicap.
Cahill! He always delivers on the big occasion.
When the chips are down, he's the type of character you want on the park. It's, you know, the people that are going to produce something out of nothing to create the goal that you're going to need.
Wilkshire's ball in and flicked it in the near post. Tim Cahill.
He believes that he's going to be the one that's going to score the winning goal every game.
In towards Tim Cahill. Brilliant! Cahill! It's that man Cahill. He's travelled halfway round the world this week and now he's made Everton's day. That is a goal of the highest quality from Tim.
My career was nearly over because I broke my fifth Met 2.5 times, say, nearly 3, and I had radical surgery with Kim Slater where, you know, it's not even been published in a book, the surgery that he did on my foot. You know, I come back from it and I went straight in against Stoke where the gaffer said, you know, you ready? I thought, yeah, I'm ready. I was lucky enough to score that game, so you look back and you think to yourself, that's the rewards of all that hard work.
He misses family, friends. He's quite close to all of his family. His brothers, they're all really close. And he's got lots of nephews and he's close with his parents. And obviously the weather. Definitely misses Australia itself.
It's like my mum's crazy collection of stuff. I've got a bit of everything in here, but personal. A lot of it's like me growing up. Everything's all over the place because my mum just tries to stack everything on top of each other. But
he always said to Mum and Dad, when I make it, you'll never work again. You know what I mean? And then you think, yeah, the kid did it. It started when we lived in a place called Annandale. Dad just took us down the park. I was about 5 and Tim was about 4. We used to go maybe 3-4 times a week at that age, and you just kick the ball between the two of us, left, right foot against a wall, and we're both right-footed, so Dad would make us take our right boot off. And so we wouldn't use our right foot because it would hurt too much to kick with the ball. And Dad used to always say, a good footballer has to have both feet.
Always football, always about football. If he wanted to buy a jersey, he'll just save up his own money. Whoever he goes for at the time, he'll buy that jersey. You know, you had all your football teams you could think about on his wall, and all he ever used to do was wear a football kit.
I remember him getting into trouble with the year advisor at school. They asked him what he wanted to do. I want to be a professional footballer, and he got into trouble for it.
You know, we used to go to school in football kit and get sent home to get changed, and Dad was like, well, this is a public school, you know? You're allowed to wear whatever you want.
I had rows with the school because I wouldn't let them play rugby league. I said, no, they play any sport they want, as long as it's football.
If we couldn't kick a football around at school, we used to get a Coke can and kick that around, you know, or a tennis ball, and that's forever, as long as I can remember, was Tim, you know, he's the football kid, you know, and now he's the Weet-Bix kid.
And action!
I'm a Weet-Bix kid.
Soccer or football out of Tim's life, he'd be devastated. If you took away his family, he'd probably be suicidal.
Trying to get into the youth side of Sydney Olympic, and the coach, he turned around and said Tim was too small and not fast enough.
And he will never make it to NSL, to the higher level of soccer here.
I nearly see Tim collapse on the floor. I laughed. That's how, yeah, all right, go away.
Deeply in his mind, he said, I'm gonna prove it to this person that said that to me.
And that really made Tim determined. You know, you've never looked back.
suddenly something happened to the boy. You could see something coming through, a style was emerging here.
He wasn't getting knocked off the ball, he was getting involved in everything, he wasn't backing down.
The thing that Tim had, he had both feet. He could read the game, you know what I mean? He saw plays before anyone else did.
The goal celebration is about me and Archie Thompson. Archie Thompson is obviously one of my closest mates in Australia. We spend a lot of time together in camps and have laughs, and he does sort of like a kung fu celebrating and kicks the flag. And he did it in the UK, and I liked it. And he said to me, do it. And I went, can't do exactly the same, so I left to go to England, and it was a year that we struggled we couldn't hit a barn door for Everton. And Sunderland away, 93rd minute, made a run to the near post, header, and out come the boxing celebration.
It's Tim Cahill.
I've been to a few of your fights, I've been to some of it. I'll come and have a training session with you in my off season. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah.
The greatest thing about Tim Cahill is his preparation. I know that he prepares better than anybody for his games, and that's everything. And I think once you've got that, and you've got the skill and the ability, that you will reach the highest levels, and he's done that.
See you later. I'll catch you after.
Oh, maybe his dad he wanted to try his luck overseas.
He came home from school and he said, Mum and Dad, I want to go to England.
Well, when Tim said he wanted to go to England, I wanted to go too. But, you know, me being the eldest, you know, you've got to help Mum and Dad out.
I said to Tim, I'm going to the bank because I'm going to get a loan to do what he wants to do, because he really, really want to do it.
I made a few phone calls to the UK, got hold of Alan Batsford. He was the head scout for Nottingham Forest at the time. Alan had a mate called Bob Pearson, who was the general manager of Millwall. So while Tim was waiting for the trial period, Alan asked me if I could take him to Millwall and get him evaluated, and I said, yeah, go for it. Well, he wasn't there 5 minutes. Phone started ringing, we're signing.
It was like a bad nightmare for me, because I never, ever, ever have any of my kids go away from me.
She was nervous, very nervous.
Day and night, it was a worry, because he's been with strangers, we don't know how he's been looked after and that sort of thing.
My sister wouldn't take him. Too much responsibility, she said. He's not streetwise.
He cried on the phone, he said, I want to come back home. He gets blisters, training in snow, and I just said to him, son, don't. You went over there, and I know me and Dad believe in you, that you can do it. Just get on with it and do it.
He wised up fast, Tim, and stuck it out.
Coming over as a 16-year-old must have been a massive step for him, but he had the enthusiasm to be a top-class player. He sacrificed his family, and he's come over to England, and he's made the grade.
And I think when the teams come up against Everton, I think the opposing managers will always say, keep an eye on Tim Cahill, because over the years, the goals he scored for us and the points he's won has been absolutely tremendous.
Oh yeah, that's when he scored against poor old Mick McCarthy's Sunderland in the FA Cup semi-final at Old Trafford.
I took my shirt off and put it over my head, and I run straight to my older brother Sean and my dad.
He had an idea where we were, but he came straight to us and just grabbed me.
You know, there was a whole stadium of people there, but that was the most important thing.
Coming back now to all the moments, yeah, I think that one will stick the most.
When I first saw Tim Cahill play in a full match, it was in an FA Cup final when he played for Millwall, and I felt he stood out in that team.
I think it was an important time for a lot of the players. I think it was an important time for the club. And the chairman at the time, Theo Pathetis, and obviously as a manager, it was an important time for me. Obviously scoring in that semi-final and taking us there was pretty much put me on the map and started to open people's eyes about this boy Tim Cahill playing overseas.
I started to build a really good relationship with him, and now at the club, obviously, he's my closest friend.
The worst thing is the mirror. You know, trying to get to the mirror.
You know, I ask always the kid man to get a mirror for me to bring it to the hotel because I can't have the mirror. It's unbelievable. And you know, he's very friendly, always making jokes and stuff. But at the same time, he takes his job very seriously, and he's the first one when things are not going well. The first one to talk in the changing room and tell people that that's not good enough.
He's quite precious, very precious, ain't you, Mikel? You spend more time in the mirror than like your wife, no?
Manager at Preston, had the chance to see Tim playing quite regular at Millwall. He was always someone who I thought was a chance of getting a goal. I thought he was good in both boxes. And I watched, and that Millwall team had a really good team. They had Lucas Neal in that team as well. So they were a good side, Millwall, then. When we're on Aussie TV,
Tim Cahill TV?
Tim Cahill TV, it's his own personal channel. He's got it. I think he's got everything else in Australia, hasn't he? Yeah. He's never even invited us out, has he? Not to his house.
No. Best friends with all the stars up there.
Is he?
Crow.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman.
Is he? Is that what he tells people anyway? Anything for Tim Cahill TV, Bainsy?
Money grabber.
Set piece. Cahill attacks it! Cahill scores! You try writing an Australian football story that doesn't have Tim Cahill in there somewhere. A quarter of an hour. Carl with the corner. Oh, and it's gone in! Australia have a second goal!
Great chance and a goal! Tim Cahill! His goal drought is over!
Just the release of emotion, I think, explains everything about the way he felt at that time and how it was all bottled up inside.
Here is Scotty McDonald, he's done well, lovely first touch. Cahill drives it, and Tim Cahill scores! What a super goal by the Socceroos! Australia threaten again. Williams going all the way, that's a great save by Gibbon, but he can't stop the follow-up, and it's Tim Cahill again at the double, as he was against Japan.
Timmy Cahill gets the breakthrough, a goal for Australia and a tribute for Samoa as well.
Tim scored. Oh, well, I was trying to ring Sean and he didn't answer his phone. I just wanted to let you know, that's all.
Look at that.
What are you doing, Cahill?
Love it, Aussie.
It's Ronaldo.
Is it? Yeah, I like Ronaldo. It's been smashed.
Is it better than you?
He's got a...
His celebration's better than yours.
His celebration's not better.